Ooh, yeah. Freak out, freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future. Yeah, and I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
49er Mind is it's not just a thought process, but a way of life. 49er Mind, 49er Mind, shake it. It's 49er Mind that I got. It's 49er Shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A written go session about our red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions, let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how they spin in the spot. Just all that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind. 49er minded. It's not just a thought process, 49er minded, but a way of life. The shark. 49er minded. Way of life. 49er minded.
Well, it's Christmas Eve. Well, actually, the Christmas Eve, let's say. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing great. I got a special guest, secret guest. I'm going to line them up in just a second. Just want to say what's up to some people who've been waiting patiently in the chat room. We got Elias Lopez. What's up? How you doing? Says, what's up, Bash? Let's go. San Francisco 49ers beat the Commanders. We got Melissa in the house. She says, what's up, Bash? We got Corey. What's up, Corey? He says, what's good, Bash? Let's go. Let's get it tomorrow. Let's do this. David McNiner says, what's up, Bash? Good to have you here. And my secret special guest is none other than Beto Niner Sickness. How you doing, bro? Good to have you on, man.
Let's go, baby. Let's get this W tomorrow and let's keep this win streak going.
Yeah, let's make it 8 wins, right?
Let's make it 8 wins. Let's get Purdy tested with a great defensive front four. I think this would be the best defense that Purdy has going to be facing this year in the regular season. So it'll be a nice to get a little test preview of what Kyle Shanahan is going to do to try to keep Purdy upright in this game. But it'll be fun to watch tomorrow.
No doubt. Melissa says it's Christmas Eve on the East Coast. Yeah, she's over in New Jersey, I think. So it's Christmas Eve in certain places. In some places, it might be Christmas already. Yeah, so, yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're playing the Commanders for the very first time. I'm the former Washington Redskins. I'm getting into the Christmas spirit of things. I was going to put up a Christmas background. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow if I do a post-game show of some sort. Corey says, what's up? What's good, Beto?
What's up, Corey?
Melissa said, what's up, Beto, right here. And
what's up, Melissa? She's my girl. How you doing?
Excellent supporters of the channel. We appreciate you guys. We went on last minute, so I'm not expecting a huge turnout. I know a lot of people are going to be busy with the families this time of year. I understand things are hectic, but for those that want to hear 49er talk, hey, we're here. We're live, and we're going to do this. And it's, Purdy has looked really, really nice these first few games. Now, I have my reservations like when it comes to Purdy, not because of anything of him doing bad or anything like that, because he hasn't. It's just that more so what other people are saying. Those are my reservations. But in general, I mean, you always want your backup quarterback to step in. And in most cases, if your backup quarterback steps in, usually they say, hey, you want a good backup quarterback for the most part in the NFL wins you half of your games, because you're not planning on having your backup quarterback in there for the long haul, right?
Exactly.
And we know how it is. But this time around, it's like, oops, towards the end of the season, and we're trying to go on a playoff run, and now we got to do the switch with a quarterback, the third quarterback, basically. So it's just different over here in San Francisco, man. It's just nuts.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say hello real quick to Brandon, David, and I'm missing one that I see jumped in there. Damon Lee's in the house. What's up, brother? But yeah, man, listen, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for tomorrow's game. I don't like Washington. Never have. I think they have one of the worst owners in NFL history. But this matchup is going to be a true testament to what Brock is going to bring to the table going into the playoffs, because we are going into uncharted territory with a rookie quarterback. He's been playing well so far. There's no denying that, but we are still going into the playoffs with a rookie, and he needs to be battle tested because I'm not saying he's going to crap the bed, but if he decides to do so, let's not do it in the playoffs. Where you know what I mean? Where you're 1 and out. Let's do it now. But we'll see. I think this front four, it's a good four. I know Chase Young is playing, but to counter that, we're getting our boy back too, bro. Javon Kinlaw. Excited about that.
Oh yeah, Chase Young is a monster. I know I don't know what kind of injury he had, but now he's coming back. And he you mentioned this D line. Let's talk about them right off the bat. I wasn't planning on doing it right off the bat, but let's do it. I mean, they have a defensive tackle with 8.5 sacks. Obviously they're not the Bosa sack numbers, but 8.5 sacks right now for a D tackle at this point in the season is pretty damn good. And that's Deron Payne. And they got Jonathan Allen right next to him from Alabama with 7.5 defensive sacks for a D tackle. Montez Sweat coming out of the draft, I believe he ran like a 4.5 40.
Yeah.
He ran one of the fastest, basically one of the fastest 40 times, if not the fastest 40 time for a defensive lineman coming out of the draft. And Montez Sweat, he has 7 sacks. I mean, he's a pretty damn good player. And you see the guy, he's built like a freaking superhero. He's got like all kinds of crazy huge muscles and veins, and he looks scary when he's out there. And he's fast. Like I said, he's fat. He's not just fast, but he's this big, strong guy too. So it's gonna be hard to face these guys. And then speaking of which, Bryce Young is a monster from Ohio State. I mean, that guy, you think he'd have the potential to be a Bosa type guy with all the talent that he has. He just needs to materialize. Let me see what's up to Aaron from 49ers First Takes. What is up? He says, let's go, bitches. We got Brandon in the house. Brandon from Forever Faithful Podcast. If I'm missing somebody, Damian Lee's here. Says the Cowboys are good at one and outs this century. What up, Kevin? Oh, yeah. Kenny's all about our number one defense. He's always talking about our defense. It's always good to have. Steve Supremo was talking about Aaron Donald making the Pro Bowl, huh? Interesting. I don't know about that. Yeah, we got a few guys that were snubbed out of the Pro Bowl, huh? I mean, I don't know how long the list is, but I mean, we got, CMC. I mean, the spark plug, the catalyst for our win streak, basically. I mean, do we do this same win streak without CMC?
Nope.
7 games? I don't think we do. I mean, he's open. I mean, not only he's a very good running back, but you can almost make the argument that he's pretty much like a poor man's Wes Welker when he's out there in the slot or playing a wide receiver or even just catching passes out of the backfield.
Yeah, not having him picked. Look who went ahead of him. You got Sanders, okay. You got Pollard, which, by the way, I thought it was funny that Pollard, a backup to Ezekiel Elliott, went to the pro, and Ezekiel, being the starter, did not. But I can see why. Pollard has been balling over there with the Cowboys. But almost 1,500 plus yards, all-purpose yards for McCaffrey. Yeah, he got him, Greenlaw, bro. Greenlaw playing out of his mind. And then Charvarius Ward, bro. It's just, and you can probably bring that in more depth later, but it just tells you how much this Pro Bowl selection should not allow the fan base to get involved. It should be the peers, because listen, I know this has nothing to do with the Niners, but AD going in to the Pro Bowl over Graves of Philly. I think
is it AD?
Yeah. Aaron Donald.
Oh, Aaron Donald. Oh my gosh.
AD going in over Graves, the tackle for the Eagles. It's absurd. But you know why AD went? He went because he's popular.
His name.
Yeah. And that's just, I don't know, bro. It's, but who cares, right? Because we're not going to be in the Pro Bowl. Nobody's going to be in the Pro Bowl. We're going to be too busy preparing for the Super Bowl.
Exactly right. Aaron Donald, obviously, he's been a monster and very dominant. One of probably arguably the most dominant defensive tackle I've ever seen. But people are just assuming he's the same player this year, and in reality, he's not. You can tell he's fallen off a little bit, whether it be the Super Bowl hangover or maybe he's just not mentally in it like he used to be. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, it's like some people like to say the Pro Bowl doesn't mean nothing, but at the end of the day, it's the one thing that the NFL officially puts out to it's the highest accolade you could kind of say that the NFL puts out for their players, right? Other than the MVP award, but it does mean something, but at the end of the day, it's when the fans get involved, and I'll be honest, I didn't even vote. If you guys are going to get mad at me or whatever, but I don't know if my vote would have counted that far anyways. But it's really interesting. We're talking about offense and CMC, and like I said, the catalyst of this win streak. I mean, we do have this amazing defense, obviously, which we'll get into. But let's talk about some in general, our defense. What's our defense all about? Everybody knows that this is arguably historically one of the greatest 49er defenses. With it, this is comparable to the Miami Dolphins defense. The defense that beat the Miami Dolphins basically in the 1984 Super Bowl was played in 1985, but the 1984 season. And, since losing to Kansas City, we haven't given up more than 17 points in a game. And that's pretty remarkable. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's this defense historically is a very good defense. I mean, there's an argument that the 1984 defense can kind of still take the icing here, but we only given up more than 20, like you said, 20 points in 2 games. That was against Atlanta and against Kansas City. And to me, this loss to Kansas City kind of reminds me of a wake-up call. As if you recall in 1994, when we were playing, we were hot, and we played the Philadelphia Eagles at home, and we got our ass kicked 40-7 or 40 whatever it was, and 40-8 to be exact. We got our butts kicked, and we went on a tear all the way to the Super Bowl. Now I understand we had Steve Young, not Brock Purdy, but the defense, and I have to say the defense today has to be better than the 94 defense. They had a lot of good names on there, but this defense is way better in my opinion. So as long as Brock plays his type of football where he doesn't have to do too much, I know it's cliche, but it is what it is. As long as he does what he's supposed to do, keep it within perspective, make the plays when he needs to be. Don't force it. This defense, like Kenny said earlier, ain't nobody can beat this defense. This defense is that good, bro. I mean, my goodness, you score 21 points, you win. We scored 21 points against Seattle and we won. Ain't nobody scoring on this defense. And it's front to back. It's not just the front. And listen, we're finally getting Javon and Armstead together. The two in the middle. We done this without them. We done them with replacements like Ridgeway. And I'm not discrediting Ridgeway. He did a good job when he was there. But Givens, you got these other players that were stepping up because of the scheme of Robert Saleh, and we're still stopping the run. We started, I forgot, I believe in the last 7 games, Bashar, no team has ran over 70 yards on us. Yeah, no rusher has done over 70 yards in the last 7 games. We do that one more time in this game, it'll be history. It'll be actually history because the last team that has not allowed us over 70-yard rusher was the 2000 Baltimore Ravens.
And if you go back to the 2016 season when Chip Kelly was our head coach, I hate to remind everybody about that season, but I bring this up because you brought up that we have a chance to be the number 1 run defense in NFL history, like you said. That 2016 defense, I mean, there were games where either I or Beto or myself could have ran for maybe 30 or 40 yards on the 49er run defense, because that run defense of the 49er team was the third worst NFL run defense in NFL history. That's how bad it was in 2016. So, Lynch and Shanahan take over, and just the culture changes, and the continuity is there. We're a strong defensive team for the most part of their tenure, and I love it. I love defense. You mentioned the 1994. Yeah, this defense is better than the 94 defense. The 94 defense had Deion Sanders, and I get it. Some big names, Ken Norton Jr., Ricky Jackson. We had Richard Dent for a minute, and they got hurt like in week 3 or something like that. Yep. That's a Hall of Fame player, or Hall of Fame type player if he didn't make it. But, obviously Deion Sanders was there, and Tim McDonald was making Pro Bowls, Merton Hanks with the chicken neck and all that. And it was fun, but, this defense is I think is better. And I haven't even said Javon Kinlaw's name for weeks. I've not said his name because a lot of, like many Niner fans, we're skeptical.
Yep.
What is he ever going to come back? I mean, the moment they put him on was it on IR or whatever? Like, I thought he was out for the season. I didn't expect him to come back. I don't know what you were thinking.
I'll be honest with you, bro. To me, it's not even a matter whether he was going to come back or will he be back. My more concern is, will he stay healthy? He's proven in the past history that he can come back, but can he remain on the defense? he comes back. I heard he's playing against the Commanders. Can he play against the Commanders and then be back for the following week when we go to Vegas? Or is he going to play against the Commanders and then it's going to flare up? And no fault of his own, but is it going to flare up where we're going to not have him for the Vegas? And that's my concern. So not much him coming on, can he stay on the field? Because when he's on the field, he's a great run blocker, man. He blocks. I mean, nobody penetrates, nobody passes through him. But how long is he going to stay on the field? If you ask me.
The thing about him is, now you mentioned the Raider game. The good thing about the Raider game is it's a short flight. The reason why I say that, it's only like an hour and 10-minute flight or something from Santa Clara to Vegas. The reason why I say that is supposedly, you might know about this more than I do, or maybe somebody in the chat might know. I don't know everything, but the rumor is that Kinlaw's knee swells up whenever he's on flights. So is it going to happen again? God forbid, knock on wood, do whatever you got to do, pray for the guy. But I want the best for Kinlaw. I obviously do. He's faced probably more criticism than almost any player on the 49ers.
Yes, he has.
I'm not named Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo, so to speak. So, I mean, I want him to succeed. You see the talent when he's out there, and I've never seen him put up big sack numbers or anything like that. But you see the brute force, you see the strength, you see the presence. You see that presence when he's out there. So, we'll see. It's great. It's great that he's going to be there. So, if he's on a limited pitch count, snap count, whatever, I don't know. I'm assuming they'll do that, but we'll see. We do rotate our guys from time to time, so that's good to know. We got East Coast Red and Gold Faithful podcast, East Coast Red and Gold podcast. That says, "What's up, Faithful?" Got you. What's up, boy? We got Kenny with a question in the chat about the defense. What does he say? He says, "Was the 2011 defense inherited by Fangio from Singletary? If we lose D'Amico Ryans, would you try to get Singletary or Fangio?" I easily know the answer to this question, but you can go ahead and answer it first, and I'll give my answer.
Fangio was not he was brought in by what's his name? I can't think of his name anymore. The coach of Notre Dame.
Who's got it better than us?
Yeah, him. That guy.
Well, he's
Jim Harbaugh
now.
Yeah, so that's a Jim Harbaugh guy. If D'Amico Ryan, and it's not if, he will be gone. He's just that good, man. I don't want Fangio personally. I think Fangio is too much old school. And has old weight styles of playing. And then plus, I don't want to change it from what we have now, the scheme that we have now, back to where he likes to run it. Although he has been running the scheme more, fair enough. But I don't want to see Bosa with his hands on the ground. I want to see Bosa what he's doing. So, but then who's out there? I would like to evaluate other defendant coordinator, but he has been around the Niners, Kenny. He's been hanging around. The assumption is that they know D'Amico Ryans is going to be gone, and they're just keeping Fangio in the background to take over. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Fangio. He's a great defensive mind. But I don't know. I just think the youth of these defensive coordinators and what they're doing now, especially with the offenses that are being played now, you need a fresh mind. Not a kind of like an old man stuck in his ways. And I say this by experience because I'm stuck in my ways a lot of times and I don't want to change. And it's hard for me to change sometimes. So we'll see. But I think Fangio might be the one that they're going to replace D'Amico, at least for the short term. Because I believe he's been in the building since all year, right?
He's been around. He's been lurking around camp. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the way they go. It wouldn't shock me at all. I'm a little stubborn too. It's kind of hard for some of us to fall out of our comfort zone from time to time, and I get that. I was trying to look it up, and I only bring this up because, well, it's obviously part of the topic. But when I was talking to John Chapman about this, John Chapman totally reassured me that during Fangio's tender with the Denver Broncos towards the end, the 2021 season, that he was running a lot of 4-3. I don't know if that was his base defense, but he definitely had it implemented. So, it would be terrible to see Bosa move to a linebacker type role in a 3-4 system. We don't have a true pure nose tackle anyways. Our D linemen are completely built for the 4-3. It would be, and our linebackers are completely built for 4-3 as well. Yep. I don't know. I mean, something tells me, well, the thing is, it's like Shanahan did implement our defensive system too. And a lot of people just think of Shanahan as just this offensive guy and nothing else. Or a lot of people just see this team as having all the success and Shanahan has nothing to do with it. It's just like what world are you living in where Shanahan doesn't have anything to do with our success? Like that's just ridiculous. That's another story for another day. But
they're haters, bro.
Shanahan will definitely have his input on who becomes obviously our next defensive coordinator, and I'm pretty sure it would make sense that Shanahan will probably be in his ear and say, "Hey, we're running the 4-3. We're not switching to a 3-4. So if you're going to be our D coordinator and we handpick you, we're sticking with what works." And obviously, I mean, if you have one of the greatest defensive of all time, and obviously in 49er history, and arguably, fighting for that type of title in the NFL, if we win it all with that type of defense and we're playing at that high level, obviously we'd get that. We'd be in the conversation. But, obviously you stick with what works. And it shocked me if they switch to 3-4, regardless of who they hire. But I do like the name Fangio. I like what he's done overall with defenses. We've had him before for his familiarity. A lot of Niner fans love him because it reminds them of the Harbaugh era, and he's proven he can do it. So that's what I love about Fangio. But if they bring somebody else in who's capable, who knows? I mean, I don't know if any. And what scares me is some people were bringing up as an internal hire, our defensive line coach Chris Kocurek, and I just see that guy. I don't want him leaving our D line. I want him sticking with the defensive lineman and going nowhere else.
Yeah, the thing with him, the good thing with him is he has publicly said he doesn't want to be a defensive coordinator. He loves being a defensive line coach. And people have told me, "Wow, okay, but there's a chance that we can lose him. Like, he can follow DeMeco Ryans to whatever." I said, "No, he can't. The only way you can take him or put him off a team is if you offer him a upgrade, like a promotion. But you can't take it from our team and then give him the same role on your new team. It has to be a promotion. He doesn't want to be a defensive coordinator. So I think you're going to get your wish there, but I think he's going to be a Niner for a very long time."
You scared me a little bit though, because you mentioned DeMeco and the slight chance of him pooching our coaches. Actually, it sounds like it's pretty realistic. Now maybe he doesn't take Kocurek, but he could take some other people with him, which would suck. So hopefully he takes some people from the Texans for all I know. I know he's been with them for a while and all that. So what else we got here? Steven Soprano says, who's D? He's got it better than us. Nobody. We got, what up, Swan Song? Swan Song's in the chat. He's been on this channel before as a co-host and as a guest. He said Vic Fangio can make anything work. The Niners have adopted Vic Fangio's cover 6 scheme. He says lots of defenses uses Fangio's cover 6, not just the Niners.
Yep.
Kenny says Fangio will inherit another great defense. Oh, he sure will. I mean, he mentioned inheriting a defense. I mean, Singletary during the Singletary era, and Balky was the GM the last year of Singletary, and before that we had McLuhan. But we just couldn't make it work for whatever reason. The coach Singletary's inexperienced as a head coach. Mike Nolan sucked during that area, obviously, but it's not like we didn't have talent. Now, I'm not saying that we had Super Bowl studded roster, but the moment Harbaugh took over in 2011, it's just like all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, coaching definitely makes a difference in this league, because we're this team that was like 3 or 4 games away from making the playoffs year after year, and all of a sudden here we are, the NFC Championship game with Harbaugh. So coaching definitely helps, and we drafted well. And then Mike Singletary, hey, he just didn't have any coaching experience. We had him. He was a linebacker coach, and that was pretty much it. He didn't have any head coaching experience. So that was that.
Yeah, I agree with you. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All I know is I like what DeMeco's doing now, and I a lot of people criticize Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, but you're right. When they came into this culture, they turned it around. This culture, for one thing, they couldn't keep nothing a secret. Everything they said, it used to be publicized to the media right away, and they changed the culture. They changed that attitude, and they brought in a willing mentality, and they got rid of most of the roster of these 49ers, and they brought in their own players. And I mean, this team has been dominant with Robert Saleh, who was a linebackers coach from the Texans, and then Seattle, and then he gets promoted to a head coach with the Jets, and has a really good Jets defense. Their offense sucks over there, but their defense is pretty good over there. And then you bring up DeMeco Ryans, and DeMeco Ryans doesn't miss a beat. If not, he's probably better, in my opinion, than Robert Saleh was. So one thing I do trust, that whoever it is going to step up at that defensive coordinator will have to take on that role that D'Amico left behind. And when you have such a great defense like this, I trust Vic Fangio can run it. I do trust him. He can run it. One thing I do like about Fangio is I love his pass rush. With Kaseric, him and Kaseric, I can imagine what Bosa and the young Drake Jackson, excuse me. Yes, how he's going to be next year developed. So we'll see. But you might be surprised about Harbaugh either promoting someone within. Maybe I forgot the name of our linebackers coach right now, but he's pretty good. I like him. So we'll see what happens. Yes, he is more aggressive than
Johnny Holland. He's a former Green Bay Packer. I think he may have played for the 49ers at one point in time towards the end of his career. I remember him as a Packers linebacker, though. Johnny Holland's the current linebacker coach. Speaking of linebackers, Fred Warner, congratulations to Fred Warner. He got selected to the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
He's always having, he's since we've had him, from his rookie year onwards, for his rookie year to, I believe, his rookie year was 2018, I believe. The 2019 year, he just definitely progressed, and you saw the progression into an NFL stud linebacker. He's not Patrick Willis. I know a lot of people used to make Patrick Willis type comparisons. So Patrick Willis is so much better than Fred Warner, and he'll never be this. But they're just two completely different players.
Yes.
But the player that we currently have on our team, who reminds me more so of Patrick Willis, I'm not saying he's exactly like him either, because he's a little different too, is Greenlaw. But that guy, unfortunately, he's arguably having the best season out of any linebacker this season. I can't think of who's having a better season, period. But yet, you think the Pro Bowl means something, and then Greenlaw's not even selected. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on here.
Well, he was going against pass rushers for selection to the Pro Bowl. And it's like, I mean, look at the pass rushers that were named to the Pro Bowl. Somebody like, what's his name? The kid that's with in Minnesota. The one that was from the Packers and went to Minnesota, 55 something Smith, Jarius Smith, or whatever. I can't think of his name.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he's no better than Greenlaw. Greenlaw's been playing out of his mind. It's unfair, bro. Greenlaw deserves to be there. And credit to Fred Warner for being who he is, man. He's a stand-up guy, great leader. So he deserves it, rightfully so. But Greenlaw should have been there right with him, bro. Right with him. But I am stoked though, fired up that my boy Hufanga made it. That's awesome.
Talanoa Hufanga. I love saying that name. I love saying the name, and we love watching him play. When he was drafted, definitely I was, my eyes got big. I was like, oh wow, we got this guy in the 5th round, because, I heard it from USC fans and certain players who were watching him throughout his career in college a few months before the draft, and they were telling me about this guy, and I was like, okay, I'll keep my eye on him. And I was thinking he was like a 2nd or 3rd round prospect at the time. And boom, we got him in the 5th round. I was like, okay, here we go. And then I find out later that he's a Troy Polamalu student. Yep. And basically, okay, I'm like, okay, even better. I had no idea that Troy Polamalu was helping him out during his college career. And I actually followed the story in depth and how they got connected. It's a great story. And if you ever see Troy Polamalu in interviews or see interviews with him and his former players, this guy is as humble as they get but it's amazing because he was such a beast and such an amazing Hall of Fame player at the same time. What up, Kenny? Says hit that like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel and you're watching, definitely hit the subscribe. That could not just for my channel, but just for any channel that you do watch. It means a lot to the content creators out there. If you're not subscribed to Niner Sickness Podcast, hit the description box of this video. There's a link to his YouTube channel. Definitely check him out. He streams a lot, and I need to make a conscious effort to stream a lot more. Actually, this week I was trying to get on a bit earlier, and a lot of things got in the way, unfortunately. Some health things got in the way, and but I'm here, so it's good to see you guys on here.
Brother. That's what's up. That's what counts. Is you just pushing through it.
Corey Dave, what up, Corey? Good to have you on. He says, do you think Jordan Mason is going to play? I don't know. I think he might not play. I forgot what injury he has exactly. I know he's nursing some injury. Are you more aware of that, Beto?
No, I haven't.
I think it was a hamstring. It was a hamstring. Now I remember.
This has been a very busy week for me, but
for everybody.
For every pretty sure Christmas and all that.
His status is questionable. He's questionable, so not doubtful.
I think he'll play because they didn't elevate Tevin Coleman. He wasn't elevated. So that's a good sign.
You're right. You're right. And today was the last day to do it, right?
Yep. So that
Okay.
to me, that feels that Jordan's going to play.
Sounds like he will play, Corey. So we'll probably get to see. And speaking of Jordan Mason, I mean, I know we were talking about the defense, and we'll finish it off in just a second, but we can talk a little Jordan Mason. I mean, what he did on that run, how many yards did he get? 56 yards on that run, I believe. That was almost a touchdown. And it's funny because people were saying this Marshawn Lynch stuff for the longest time, like, oh, Jordan Mason reminds me of Marshawn Lynch. And I was thinking, why are people saying Marshawn Lynch? Just let this guy develop into his own form of a player and let him be himself and let him develop. You know, like he's barely gotten the ball in our games. Let's see him finally get the ball more in meaningful situations. And that's what I want to see first before I give him any names or any labels or anything like that. But lo and behold, we're in Seattle, ironically. And towards the end of the game, boom, he puts on a run that's very similar to a Marshawn Lynch type run. Unfortunately, he didn't get to the end zone. And I wanted them to run it in the end zone at the very end of the game. They had the ball at the 2 or 3 yard line or something like that. Like, just run it and just give him the ball for all the hard work he did.
Yeah, I'm at fault at that. I was one of the guys that were, and I think the reason why they mentioned Marshawn Lynch for him is because of the prototype of the body type, the weight, the height, and then him wearing number 24, with Marshawn Lynch, and then not only that, but the way he runs, he punishes people. Jordan Mason punishes people. He runs between the tackles. He doesn't want to be tackled down, and that's a lot of the things you saw. Now, I'm not going to say he's Marshawn Lynch. I'm not going to disrespect Marshawn Lynch, but he has a lot of the tributes that Marshawn Lynch did in the beginning, and hopefully he'll develop that and get better. But I love this kid, busting through for a 55-yarder where he only needed 1 yard. He's like, nah, I'll give you an extra couple of 50 yards more than what you need, and it sucks that he didn't punch in. And you're right. I was okay that they didn't run it in for the fact that they're trying to keep players without getting hurt, but I would have loved for him to run it in, and the whole run they would have not caught up to him, and he would have got that touchdown. Because I just wanted to put points on the board, bro. I'm so sick and tired that every time the Seahawks beat us, they beat us by a bunch of big margin. I just wanted, and we got stole 7 points, bro. I don't care what people say.
Pete Carroll would have ran that in. Carroll would have ran that in.
But that's so Paul roughing the passer on both sides. That we were robbed, bro. That should have been 7 points going the other way.
I totally agree. What up, Panama Queen? She says, Merry Christmas, Bash and Beto. We appreciate you, Panama. You're always watching, and you're a faithful viewer, not to just to my channel, but to many channels. The 49er content creator community really appreciates you. Hope everybody out there has a Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays, just whoever's out there.
Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. I don't know if it just finished, but I know it's an 8-day thing. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but if it's still going on, happy Hanukkah as well, and Kwanzaa to everybody else. Swan Song has a question. Says, why is McGlinchey special where they don't report his injuries? Something about the cracked ribs, right? I saw that mentioned. I did read that article. Well, I saw the headline for it yesterday, I believe, or earlier today. And I mean, McGlinchey, I mean, he's been like the black eye of the 49ers offensive line. I mean, anytime anything goes bad on the 49ers offensive line, it's usually McGlinchey's fault. I'm not saying it's always only his fault, but he stands out like a sore thumb. And I understand he was coming back from a major injury, and I didn't know about the cracked ribs, but do I think that the 49ers, do I think he's beyond being replaced? No, I don't. Next year I think they should do what they can to improve at that position.
Yeah, I agree. I'm okay with moving on from Mike McGlinchey, honestly, but I want to make sure that we insert someone that can step in and upgrade the position. I don't want to downgrade. And I know you might say, well, wait a minute, how much can we downgrade? He's that bad. But popular to believe he's not that. I mean, he's not a fan favorite of mine or a lot of us, but he's not the worst tackle out in the NFL. He's top 10. When you're top 10, so either he's not that bad or everybody below him just sucks that bad. But
exactly. He's not top 10 in my book. There's better in the league. There's better.
Yeah. So, but I hope they either have someone already inside that they're developing to take his spot, or maybe in the draft they'll take someone. But I don't know if they bring back McGlinchey at a very reasonable deal, I wouldn't be mad. But none of that up money for him because he don't deserve it.
Okay, interesting. Great name, Count Cholo, with the freaking the Count from Sesame Street picture on there.
Count Cholo,
He
orale.
said, speak your Spanish, Beto, go.
If Purdy gets hurt, we're putting in Beto. Count
Are you-
Cholo sounds like somebody's familiar. Someone is using.
Are you up for the challenge?
Órale, vato loco, no desmadres aquí ese. ¿Sabes qué? Puro pinche Purdy, eh. Vamos a matar a los mendigos, pendejos, animales de Commanders. La vamos a mandar a su madre y su pinche abuelo. Puro Niners y qué, vato. ¿Qué hubo?
Okay, so
Translate that, Bashar.
for
Translate
our
that.
English speaker, you were thrown in. I got most of the words, but I couldn't get the context. Usually, I'm pretty good at understanding simple Spanish, but you got me there, buddy. But are you up for the challenge? Hey, he said, if Purdy gets hurt, are you ready to be the quarterback?
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
You might have some success, but you never know.
I got my controller ready. Put me in, coach.
Oh, there you go. There you go. With this system that we run, I mean, looks like almost anybody you throw it into it's almost like a plug and play type of deal. Yeah,
it's not that easy though, bro. But yeah.
Oh no. I do love the fact that
Nick Mullins would be a freaking good quarterback, right?
Yeah. So you mentioned Talanoa Hufanga making the Pro Bowl. Let's go back a little bit because we're facing them. Brian Robinson as the running back the last 3 games of the I was about to say Redskins, the Washington Commanders. He's carried the ball for 4.5 per carry, 89 yards per game. Now we all know how stout this run defense is. It's just we only give up 3.4 yards per carry, and very, very, very few yards on the ground. And obviously we're number 1 in the league. I mean, it's not. Now I'm not trying to overlook this guy, Brian Robinson. He's 89 yards per game last few games, but again, I don't see him getting anywhere near 89 yards tomorrow without a doubt. I just don't see it.
No,
you mentioned
Hufanga, and then you bring Javon Kinlaw in there.
Oh yeah, if Kinlaw's playing, man, yeah, our run defense. And thank God Armstead is back because when Ridgeway went down, I was like, oh great, that sucks. And I believe isn't Givens nursing an injury as well? Like
Givens is out. Yeah.
And so they had to bring up Ty McGill and you know, please guys, stay healthy. Please do not. This is the wrong time of year to start getting hurt. You know? We need you there. Hey, but you mentioned Talanoa Hufanga making the Pro Bowl. And again, I mentioned the whole Troy Polamalu thing. Just this guy is instinctual. He makes the big plays. He gets everybody fired up. He's I call him the Tasmanian Devil sometimes. I'm not sure if they ever call Troy Polamalu that. They may have at times. But when he does that blitz off the line of scrimmage, the first thing that comes to mind is just this Tasmanian Devil, like a freaking lion. And when he had that hit on Geno Smith, that was awesome. He made Geno Smith fumble in Seattle, and Seattle recovered the ball. But that ferociousness that he brings. And the 49ers pass defense, we have Charvarius Ward. A lot of people thought he was snubbed for the Pro Bowl. I thought he should have made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
But they don't want to put every 49er play in the Pro Bowl. I get it. I know how they are. But the 49ers pass defense has been ranked. We're 4th in the NFL in terms of passing rating, 79.8 yards. I believe we're 3rd or 4th in sacks. So we don't have as many sacks as the first team, but we do get a lot of sacks. We're up there with the top 3 or top 4 teams that get the most sacks. We're facing Taylor Heineke. Nope, don't grab a Heineken. He's got 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the year, 211 yards per game, 87.7 rating. He's not that efficient. I almost see him as now Brock Purdy's a lot more efficient on the Niners, but when Heineke, I do see some similarities between Heineke and Purdy, don't you, a little bit?
Yeah, I do. I just got to give a Purdy, not because he's quarterbacking for our 49ers, but I think Purdy's more accurate in a sense. But I think that and Purdy might, believe it or not, people have told me that Heineke has a better arm. I don't know what they're watching. Purdy has a better arm than Heineke. So I don't understand why people come in with that issue, but he's just a better quarterback. And I think that Heineke is just better as being a backup. He might be losing his spot to, I don't know why they're going to bring Wentz back in, but I heard a rumor that if he doesn't win this game, they're going to bring Wentz back.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Wentz has always played good against us too. He's for whatever reason, he'll play terrible against whatever team in the previous week. And people are like, oh, wow, well, Wentz sucked today. So today, so when the 49ers play him, he's going to suck too. Like, nope. Wentz played his best game of the year when he played the Niners. It was always like that whenever we faced them. Swan Song says, what matters most is points allowed. Niners are number 1st on defense. Yeah, so we give up 15 points a game. The year that we beat Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl was like 14.5 points a game or something like that. So it was very similar in terms of points allowed. And we're in this day and age, there's more high powered offenses now, so that's quite a feat, and teams pass a whole lot more too. Kenny says what matters is our offense matching our defense. Oh yeah, so far they have. I mean, obviously, if we were scoring 35 or 40 points a game, then you could actually say our offense was matching them. But in general, lately, we are putting up points on the board, and we are looking good on offense. We have plenty of playmakers. Not going to win. Hopefully, Debo comes back. I don't know if they're going to try to rush Debo back tomorrow. I'd like to see him out there, as the fan of me. But then again, I want to play it safe too. I don't really want to see him.
I believe they already ruled him out.
Oh, they ruled him out already officially?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know they were working him lightly in practice. Crazy Juice, what's up?
You don't want to do that.
Crazy Juice, welcome to the channel. I don't recognize your name unless you had a different screen name, but if you're new, welcome to the channel. It says a center I really like. He's talking about just drafting possible center. I believe Kenny mentioned in the chat earlier. Center I really like in the draft is Grant Gibson for North Carolina State. I haven't even scouted anybody in this upcoming draft that we could possibly draft, so you guys are kind of doing a little work for me already. Steve Supremo likes Poe. We do have Poe, Jason Poe in the lineup. Learning, waiting in the wings. Nick Zakel is a guy they might have at center, or they might even work him at tackle. I'm not sure what route they go, honestly, at that position. Brando's okay. He's all right, but I just think we could do a lot better. He's very undersized, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can definitely do better. I think Zakel, they might be looking at him at center as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But I like that kid. I do like that kid. I've been watching. I love college and football. Grant Gibson, I like him. I don't know if he'll be there by the time the Niners pick, but that wouldn't be a bad pick. But I think the Niners have their center in the making, and it's not going to be Brendo. You're right. I think Brendo will be a great backup to have him on the roster for a few games here and there, but not to be your lead center.
Yeah. So who do we got to worry about on the Commanders? And Terry McLaurin, obviously a wide receiver. He's got 1,015 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns on the season. He's been a pretty good wide receiver throughout his career.
Honestly, you know what? If I sound like a homer, that's okay. The Niners are going to destroy Washington tomorrow. It's not going to be close, not even close. Do you think that Tampa Bay game was a one-sided? You're gonna get a taste of that tomorrow. This Washington is not that good. It isn't that good. They couldn't score against the Giants defense. They struggled to move the ball against the Giants defense the week before when they lost to the Giants. You're not gonna sit there and tell me the Giants defense is anywhere near or close to as good as our defense. Quarterbacks and coordinators don't have a clue what our defense is until they play us. And the only one that can talk any smack is Andy Reid and the Chiefs, but they caught us at a bad time. I don't care what people say. They play us today, then they're not going to put those numbers on us like they did on week 7. Who worries me and the Commanders pretty much is McCarron in the pass game, but we're going to shut him down because we're going to put Travarius Ward on them. They're not going to run. They're going to become a one-dimensional. Listen, you can't run on our defense, and you can't pass on our defense. So what are you going to do?
Kick field goals, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, kick field goals. We'll trade touchdowns for field goals. I'm telling you, if the Washington Commanders score more than 17 points, that is a freaking amazing. Because I think about the most they're going to score is 10.
Yeah, on paper, we win this matchup all day long, every day. But as the old cliche goes, that's why they play the game.
And anything can happen on any given Sunday. You're right.
Exactly, any given Sunday. Yeah. So I mean, I mentioned Metcalf, Curtis Samuel's another wide receiver. There's McLaurin. I had Metcalf written out here because C. Ward played amazing against Metcalf. Shout out to C. Ward. No, you didn't make the Pro Bowl, but you're gonna ball out for us from the rest of the regular season on to the playoffs. We see a lot of good things coming from you.
He's gonna make the Super Bowl, which is more important.
Oh yeah. 49ers pass rush, we got 39 sacks. Bosa is the man, 15.5. Now he's got help from Armstead. Kinlaw's coming to mix. Drake Jackson, Jordan Willis, Charles Omenihu, Samson Ibukam, and we might get Ward. Sorry, not C. Ward, but Hufanga or Fred Warner on the blitz. So you never know who might be blitzing, who might be coming.
You know who's fired up for Javon Kinlaw coming back?
Who?
Nick Bosa.
Hope so.
Javon always demands at least 2 bodies on him. That's how big he is. He's going to take, so that's going to open up a Bosa to go and do his thing. I'm telling you, that if Javon Kinlaw can play and stay healthy, this is going to open up a whole chapter for the next couple of games for Nick Bosa, and he's already terrorizing it. It's going to be even better. Chase Young, I'm concerned about because he hasn't really played, but he's a beast at the edge. You know he's going to line up against Mike McClinchy, who's going to win. You know that Chase Young is going to win those battles more. But I believe that Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme it to kind of keep the ball out quick from Purdy's hands because he knows that pass rush is coming. So it's going to be up to Purdy how fast he can get rid of that ball. But if you notice with him, he doesn't get waver. He doesn't, blitzes doesn't scare him. So I expect a good game from the Niners and scheme. As long as we are able to execute what Kyle schemes up, we'll be fine in this game. I'm not worried about anybody. And I know I sound like a homer and blah, blah, because you're worried about any team on any given Sunday. But the Washington defense is not that good. Their offense is not that great either.
Yeah. Let's talk about the other side of the ball really quick because Brock Purdy's our current quarterback. Trey Lance went down way early in the season. Unfortunately, Jimmy went down. And, Shanahan's a team, as a coach that's battle tested. He's like, hey, all these players get injured more so than any other team. And we embrace the next man up mentality more so than any other team, which is a beautiful thing. It sucks to see our players go down, but the depth is amazing, and I love it. So love what I see. And obviously, Brock Purdy stepped in. He's got six touchdowns on the season, 2 interceptions, 678 yards. So I believe it's how many games he started for that now? Is it 3 games or 4 games he started?
Who is that?
Brock Purdy. How many games he's played? So Tampa Bay.
This will be his 3rd start.
Yeah,
4 games.
Yeah, 4 games. There you go. Yeah, so he's been doing really, really nice things. I mean, I love what he's doing out there. He just the calm, cool, and collective aspect of his game is really nice. I'm not sure if that part's elite yet, but it's definitely better than what we've been seeing in the past with Jimmy. And I'm not trying to throw any knock on Jimmy, but that's just what we've been used to seeing. Beto says, Niner Podcast says, everyone smash that like button. We really appreciate if you do hit the subscriber button. Yeah, I mean, this offense has started to put up points, ever since and obviously acquiring Christian McCaffrey back-to-back 100-yard games, another Pro Bowl snub. Jordan Mason, it sounds like he might play 5.5 yards a carry the last 4 games for the guy. So, who knows? Maybe he steps in and breaks another one for us. The Redskins did give up 87 yards to Saquon Barkley last week, and they're about 11th in the league at stopping the run. They usually give up 111 yards a game. So hopefully we pound the rock and just make it annoying for them in order to stop the run. Because, like I said, I mentioned earlier, that they got some good pass rushers. They got a strong D line. I don't want to make it where we force Brock Purdy in a situation where, who knows, the O-line pass protection might break down a little bit. McGlinchey might falter. Who knows what happens? And I don't want it to be a factor where Purdy may have to get blitzed or sacked a lot, but we'll see. I mean, so far he's been doing pretty good against the blitz. Kittle's the last game, 4 catches, 93 yards. We finally got him involved a bit. So it's good to see, man. Oh, one more thing. The Redskins are really bad at guarding running backs out of the backfield.
Commanders.
Oh, hang on, let me see it. The Commanders. If I say it like that, maybe I won't forget how to say their actual name. But the Commanders give up a 101 passing rating to running backs out of the backfield. Voila. We got CMC, baby, coming out of the backfield. I don't know if Jordan Mason even has hands, but if he does, that's a plus. Let me say what's up to 49er, dude. I see him right here in the chat. What up, bro? How you doing? Says Bang Bang. And look who's in the building. What's up, Bashar? What's up, Beto? This could be a trap game, fellas. Hopefully the players aren't on some big-headed fan crap like I am. We're going to bash them. Yeah, I mean, our fans are, I don't even want to say this, but we got fans. I love what Purdy's doing again. I'm sure Beto does. I'm sure a lot of people do, but let's not include Joe Montana and Tom Brady in the Purdy conversation.
No.
Please.
Yeah.
It's not fair for Purdy at all. It's just not. To put that kind of crazy expectations on the guy, I mean, it's nuts, dude. Just let him play week by week, and we'll see what we have in him at the end of the day. That's how I look at it.
And this is why players don't listen to outside noise. This is why they don't pay attention to outside noise, because of stupidity comments like that where people are right away. I understand to be excited, be fired up that your third string quarterback is actually doing something and he's impressive. That's something to be proud of. But to start right away, Brady or Steve Young or Joe Montana or this or that, hold your expectations about this kid. Let him play. Let him play, man. Just enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy every game. Listen, somebody mentioned earlier, and I agree, and I mentioned this myself, that Brock Purdy and the Niners offense, this is probably going to be the best defense and front four they're going to be face all year, other than the Rams with Aaron Donald. But it's going to be up to the offensive line. That's going to be depending on how the offensive line handles that pass rush, it's going to determine how well we're going to play in that game. But I believe in the scheme. I believe that because Brock Purdy is a little bit more mobile than Jimmy is, he'll be able to escape just to extent. All he needs just the ability to throw the ball to Kittle, to throw the ball to you, to throw the ball to CMC and avoid that pass rush. And, and eventually they're going to call off the Wolves because they're going to try to protect that back. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Mike McGlinchey and Buford are the ones that worry me the most in this game, but I think they'll be fine. I think Kyle Shanahan will scheme this offense to play really good. And I'm telling you, I believe the Niners are going to have a great game. And I'll come on here and admit that I was wrong if I was wrong, but I'm going to be gloating tomorrow night because I'm going to be like, I told you we're going to win it by double digits. I just believe in this team.
Oh, yeah. I definitely believe in this team. I mean, I think the only thing that can really stop this team is injuries, but then this team has been injured all year long and we're still finding a way to get things done, so
we're in our freaking third string quarterback.
It's like, was it like Jason or like Freddy Krueger or something like that? Like those like those guys in those horror movies who never seem to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How it is. This is the thing that people don't realize with the Rams. The Rams, they're lucky. They are so lucky they won that Super Bowl. But they bought, Matthew Stafford, they brought him in. He won a Super Bowl. They got lucky with us, regardless of what it is. They won it. Good for them. But they don't have no depth. Okay. They have no high draft picks. They're 4-10, and their first number one pick is going to the Detroit Lions. They're not getting nothing out of that. So they can't even go out and get a quarterback because they don't have no draft picks. Now, they have so much debt money. Do you know that if Matthew Stafford retires because of his not able to play, and AD retires because why come back if he's not going to be there? You know how much debt money they're going to have between those two players that they can utilize to bring other players? This team is going to be screwed for years. But this is how Snead, their manager, built his team to win now. And they take chances, and now it's going to bite them in the ass. So they won a Super Bowl. Good luck for them. Now the Niners are different. We build depth. We're on our third string quarterback, and we're winning. We lose our running back, and we win. We lose our starting corner, and Lenore comes in and starts playing well. We lose Jimmy Ward, and Gibson comes in and plays well. We have depth in this team. And this is how John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan built it. So I love the way they built this team. Yes, we have injuries, but we also have the depth to continue to win.
And for a team that has struggled to develop cornerbacks for God knows how long.
Yes.
Mosley, who's having the most amazing season of his life, freaking gets injured in front of his relatives. He had tons of relatives at that Panthers game. Here comes Diamador Lenore. Boom. Like, not saying that he's playing as good as Mosley, but he's fitting in just nicely, doing what's asked of him. And let me just make this special announcement right here. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 49er Minded chat room, we have the Eye of the Niner, the San Francisco 49ers 2022 Fan of the Year. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
What's up, Eye of the I keep wanting to say Tiger, but Eye of the Niner, bro. I love it.
I know the Tiger, the Rocky theme. Yeah. That's a play on words. But yeah, that's Ray Pena. He's been on my show before, the Eye of the Niner. Shout out to him. He won 49ers Fan of the Year this year. And
wow, congratulations.
Yeah, that's why I made the announcement. Yeah.
I kind of heard it, but I couldn't make it out. But congratulations, man. Wow, that's an honor.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's awesome, man. And yeah, I love it. A great guy, by the way. I had the pleasure of meeting him the day before the Seattle game. So the night we held this, actually they held this gathering, and he's put out a lot of great music. When I had him on my show, if you go back and watch a previous episode with Ray Pena, the Niner on there.
I have.
Yeah, he features a lot of his hip hop that he put out, his 49er rap songs, and he puts out merchandise for Forever Faithful Azteca on Instagram. Check out that Instagram page. Crazy Juice says, according to Stafford, he's not going to retire. Yeah, when you mentioned the dead money thing, something tells me that, like, if Donald retires and Stafford retires, it tells me that the ownership of the freaking Rams and the GM or whoever is running things out there is going to be in those guys' ear, like, hey, one of you better not retire. We better at least have one of you guys around for the next season, just so we don't have all that stupid dead money that we got to pay. So, it's good that you brought that up. Something tells me this. Hey, let Stafford stick around. He's playing terrible this year, anyways, and I'm not really expecting.
Exactly.
He played very well with the Lions. I'll give him that. For a crappy team, he fought through adversity with that crappy team, and he not that they were a winning team over there, but hey, he tried to make the best of the situation. He put up numbers over there. He played through injuries, and it was at our expense in the NFC Championship game. But hey, they did win their Super Bowl. But everybody knows this. When they made all those moves, and people can say, hey, they made all these moves, and why are the 49ers making these types of moves? Why are the Rams jumping us and signing all these players and trading for all these players, and we're not making the moves? But hey, look, they did it, and I get it. They won the Super Bowl. But I mean, were they built for the long term? No, they're not. They're not built for the long term. After that Super Bowl, where are they now? Where are they going to be the next 5 years? Like you said, who knows? Well, Corey, I think that's Corey Davis. I've seen him chat before. He has a second screen. He says, do you think that the 49ers should resign DeMeco Ryans to an extension to the defensive coordinator? I'll go ahead, Beto. You can answer that.
Yeah, I would love that. But every coach, every positional coach's dream is to what? Become a head coach. Everyone, that's their dream. If you're ever a coach, you want to be a head coach of an NFL team. And if the opportunity comes, yeah, I just can't see him saying, okay, Kyle, I love you that much. Yeah, I'm going to stay behind. He's going to take his opportunity, and he deserves it. I wouldn't want him back only for the fact that I'm not trying to be selfish, and I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that I want him to go out and get his break. He deserves it. He worked as hard to get it, and he deserves it. Are we going to miss him? Heck yeah. Hopefully we can recover. But listen, we didn't lose a beat when we lost Robert Saleh. I'm confident in the rest of the coaching staff that they can keep up this pace, but he deserves it. Would I want him to come back? Yes. Will he come back? No. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. I just hope he goes to a good situation, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was looking up the actually, it says he raised a question. It says Todd Bowles, I believe, makes about $3 million per year. Robert Saleh, who's now a head coach, makes about $5 million per year. So, if the 49ers think their pockets are deep enough, and if it's only money that matters to DeMeco Ryans rather than just having the dream of being an NFL head coach and the title and the spotlight, maybe he just takes the wallet from the Niners and just says, "Hey, I'll stick around." I don't see that happening. My boy John V, who comes on my post game shows, great guy from the Locker Room Rant channel. Just definitely check him out. He says that a lot. That he wouldn't be surprised if the Niners gave him that type of offer, but who knows?
Or maybe the right team doesn't open up for him. Maybe he does. Maybe whatever team's available this offseason, he may not want to go into that situation. He may want to wait another year for a better position to open up. You never know.
Yeah, I the Niners says DeMeco Ryans for president. He deserves it, whatever comes next, but would love to see him stay. I would love to see him stay. I hate seeing.
I agree with you.
I just think, like I mentioned this on previous shows, and I think like our coaches get poached more than any other team. But it's like as if we're this dynasty, as if we're this dynasty that the Patriots had with Belichick, and it's like we're not. Can we at least win something first? Let us win something first, and then try to take one of our coaches.
I mean, you poach coaches from good teams. You don't do it from bad teams, right? So you're right. You want to win a championship. And you know what? But when they're poaching teams from your team, that means you have one hell of a roster. I mean, the coaching staff.
Steve-O Supremo says DeMeco's going to Denver. Yeah, we'll see where he ends up going. Who knows? Maybe the Raiders fire their coach and he goes to the Raiders. I'd hate to see him go to the Raiders. I can't stand the Raiders. Crazy Juice says either way, Stafford isn't going to win the Lambs another championship. Just like Kurt Warner, he's going to have just that one ring. Yeah, I think so too. What do we got going here? Oh yeah, I got you, Beto. You know what? We're gonna wrap things up. Before we do that, really quick, I just want to say thank you very, very much to all people that showed up in the chat. Love it. Last minute stream on Christmas Eve, the eve of Christmas Eve. Beto, really, really appreciate you. Let's do our score predictions really, really quick. I think you did yours earlier. I didn't do mine, so if you want to repeat yours really quick, and I'll do mine.
Quick, before we do that, I just want to say I love that shirt you're wearing, brother. That's a nice 49er shirt, bro. That is nice. I love it.
Thank you. Sweet. Thank you.
And the hat. I didn't wear my hat today because I was too lazy to go and get it from the bedroom. So my lazy ass didn't want to get up. I didn't get it, but and then plus I'm
a 49er Santa helper, I guess.
I don't want to be a twin. To the hat looks really.
You have the same exact one or a different version?
No, same exact one.
Oh, really? Okay.
With the gold with the gold on the side, yeah.
What up, Güero Ski? Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Kenny says 24-6 Niners. I like where Kenny's going.
You just heard my weak broken Spanish. I'm not Latino, but I definitely know a little Spanish. He says
31-13. Say like that. 31-13.
31-13.
There you go.
There you go. See, I know a little bit.
You gringo got it right.
Oh, man. Soy gringo árabe.
Michael says 2010.
Kenny says 24-6. Okay. We got Michael Hornback. Welcome to the channel. I don't recognize your name. If you're the first time here, welcome to the channel. Welcome. Like Beto always says. 20-10 Niners. Corey says 30-10. I the Niner. What do you guys says? Merry Christmas to you guys and all the faithfuls. Score predictions 42-17.
I love it.
Number for our score. Okay. Let me say 35-14. 35-14 Niners.
I love it.
Okay, Niners Sickness put 31-10. Let me just type mine in the chat so it's on paper, I guess, in black and white. 35-14.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you to everybody that showed up in the chat. Werowski, I saw you, bro. I saw you. This is an old time YouTube 49er legend, OG, as they say. Great dude.
I like the name.
I'd love to have him on the show one day. I'm trying to reach this guy's social media. He's hiding me. He's hiding for me. I told him make an Instagram account, make a Twitter account. I'm easy to find. If you guys want to find me on social media, just look for 49er Minded if you have any questions or whatever it may be. I'm very easy to find on social media. Beto, just let everybody know about your channel before we wrap this up, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Once again, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's always an honor to be on your show, bro. I have nothing but respect for you and your show, man. So I appreciate you. You can find me Niner Sickness Podcast on YouTube, on Twitter, on what is it? IG, and also what is the one that I've been using lately? So many out there. TikTok. Thank you. You can find me all those under Niner Sickness Podcast. Feel free to follow me. Real quick, if it has to be exact, if the game turns out to the prediction that you said, if you call it right on the teeth, whatever you called on the screen happens to be the game, I'm going to give you this beautiful Candlestick Park patch. This is Legends of Candlestick Park, 1971 to 2014.
Okay, so if you hit the exact score and you typed it in the chat, hit him up on social media. It's easy to find. If you can't find him on social media, you can always hit me up if you're on my social media. If you hit the exact score, we'll go back and look at the chat room and we'll give you your prize.
So good luck to everybody. Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it,
bro.
And everybody that showed up tonight, man, you guys are amazing. At this hour, you guys, thank you for following Bashar. Continue to support his channel, man. Continue. Do me a favor, guys. Go around. I know you can talk to a lot of Niner fans. The word of mouth is the best way for me and for anyone to get the word out. Let people know, hey, have you checked out 49er Minded? His intro video is the bomb. Go and check him out. He has great guests, me discluded, but he has great guests. Come and check him out, support him, and follow his channel. Great guy, guys. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. I'll probably be back for a short pregame show tomorrow. Might be in a little rush tomorrow, so I'm not sure exactly what time I do it. I might actually do it later in the evening, maybe around 8 o'clock, but we'll see. But for those of you, just keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Merry Christmas, everybody. Christmas Eve. Let's go. Let's get this W against the Commanders. Let's go. Stay 49er minded. This is the song. This is my old intro song. We're going to play it as an outro. Let's go.
Right on.
Come on, 49 faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49 in mine.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49 in mine. It's 49 in mine.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49 in mine.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49 in mine.
We from the Bay.
49 in mine.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49 in mine.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49 in mine.